So if you haven't already noticed, I recently changed my name. It may not be a big deal for some of you. You may just enjoy the content, which is perfectly alright, obviously. For me, however, it has been a rather stressful past couple of months because of it. The Dressrosa name and its connection to One Piece, which is where the name is from, is something that I enjoyed, but for quite some time I felt it's been holding me back. Competing with One Piece is something that I don't really want to do. I felt now was the time to truly change it, to hopefully better myself and to put my channel in a better position to expand and grow and create more engaging content. It's not like the name was holding me against my will to stop me from making that type of content, but deep down it was affecting my workload and the way I approach videos and a lot of different things personally. If you want to know what the new name means or how it came to its creation, the description on it will either be on the screen or my YouTube banner or my Twitter banner. It has a description for it there. You can either pronounce it Sufferents or Sufferent, Suffer for short. Hell, you can still even call me Dress if you like. But hopefully this puts me in a better direction, a better mindset for creating content and taking my channel to another level. In some way, it's a new beginning. I'm really excited to better my content and change and evolve over time like I normally do, but in a direction that I'm happier with. I want to thank you all for the amazing support, all the incredible kind words that you left behind, and they mean a lot. I truly appreciate all of you, so thank you wholeheartedly. So this chapter of Chainsaw Man is something that I didn't expect to get so quickly. I thought we would kind of sit within the Makima situation a little bit more, sit within its tension, within its atmosphere, and pretty much what it started and created. Obviously, we're still riding off the power situation, which is still riding off the Aki situation. And to add to all of that, we have the Makima reveal with how much she's been puppeteering the story and puppeteering every single character and their emotions, but also Denji's past and exactly what happened with his father and what he suppressed and the barrier that he created to mentally keep himself sane, which is a very serious thing, a very impactful thing. So I wouldn't have been surprised if we stayed pretty simple around that for quite a bit and let that build up a little bit more to drive home that emphasis on just how twisted and manipulative Makima is. You already get that intention with those chapters, but it doesn't hurt to let everything settle down to go that little extra distance. However, this chapter done the complete opposite. And this is what I love about Chainsaw Man and what I love about the author and how he approaches his series is that as much as this chapter is extremely insane and just very full on, the comparison and the confliction with the previous emotion and the previous tension is almost night and day. Whereas the previous chapters had this very thick and eerie atmosphere surrounding them, surrounding its characters and the events that transpired, this chapter is the complete opposite. It's full on, it's in your face and pretty crazy. Nothing necessarily over the top, but still surprising nonetheless. A more precise way to put it is that we've just got two of the opposing ends of Chainsaw Man. On one side, the previous chapters, and then on the other side, this recent chapter. Everything in the middle is just Chainsaw Man's journey and its path to bounce between either or. It's a very polarizing experience, and it's great for keeping you on your toes because you never truly know what to expect. Especially when you have a character like Makima involved now and how she has completely recontextualized the story of the previous chapters. I honestly didn't know where the story would go from here. What would we lead into after everything that just happened? And starting off with something like this is a really good way to go. I absolutely loved how natural everything came across. The chapter started off like it was just another day. Makima opening up the door and showing Denji all of her toys that she's acquired along the way. All of Denji's friends, all beheaded and controlled, sitting calmly within the hallway. Yeah, you'll notice that Denji has no real expression towards this. He's a husk of his previous self. He's very hollow, and that's because of the experience, that's because of the warping of a mental state and the emotional vulnerability that he gave himself to then have it corrupted and rotted away by Makima. Her twisting the events and experience that Denji has lived has created this result. A very hollow individual, an emotionless individual. It didn't take long for this to be disrupted and annihilated thanks to Kishibe, who was originally someone that was very suspicious of Makima and someone that is very experienced and honestly wants her gone. This event was somewhat teased in itself with the previous arc, where Kishibe and the octopus guy, whose name I cannot remember for the life of me, were somewhat confiding in one another to try and push Makima to a different direction, to try and gain as much information on her as possible and to try and take her out of the picture before she got too powerful. Obviously, they have a lot more information to work with. They've seen Makima in her true nature and have evaluated that and want her gone. But even though Kishibe is extremely experienced and probably has a lot of knowledge and understanding of how tactics like this work, this operation or this mission that he's planned out got completely annihilated in a matter of seconds. And I'm really interested to see if he has a secondary response or a safety net in case something like this were to happen. The mission itself was pretty standard. It drove around getting enough power or ability to overthrow Makima and everyone that she controls, but they truly underestimated her and they truly underestimated Denji. Because even though they activate this plan, they kill her, and she begs Chainsaw Man to help her, which mind you was an incredible panel, which gave me severe Tokyo Ghoul nostalgia. Just that one panel of Makima asking Denji for help, asking for him to save her. Their plan was to sacrifice a couple of individuals, call upon the Hell Devil to drag Makima down into hell. I don't know how powerful this Hell Devil is. I assume because of the way it's sacrificed and the way it's created and given birth to, it's a rather powerful being, considering it's also the Hell Devil. But I also imagine the more people you sacrifice, potentially the more powerful it could have been. I'm not too sure on the logistics of that, but knowing how the story structures, it probably wouldn't be surprising if that was the case. So if they had an abundance of people sacrificing themselves instead of the 5 that they had, the Hell Devil might have been resurrected to be more powerful, or living up to its true power, so to speak. They did indeed try, and I'll give them respect for that, but Denji himself is a completely different being. Once being called upon by Makima to save her, he is controlled and thrusted into this completely new being that we haven't seen before, utilizing and wielding a power that we haven't seen from him before. Which honestly, riding on that Tokyo Ghoul nostalgia, Denji's full Chainsaw Man form, or whatever you want to call it, reminded me heavily of a Kagaja form, which I thought was extremely nice, because he just obliterates through this Hell Devil in a matter of seconds. This powerful being that 5 people sacrificed themselves for to take out Makima, to drag her specifically into hell, was gone in a matter of seconds. One shot by Denji and his new form. You could sum this mission up to be legitimate critical failure, and this is why I am interested to see if Kishibe knew something like this would happen, or if he suspected something like this to happen. It seems he understands the capability of Makima and what she can fully bring forth to a degree, but I think Denji might have blindsided him completely. Unless for some reason the Hell Devil isn't that easy to get rid of, or this is just a process of bringing a more powerful version of him forward, who knows. And I love the design for it too. It reminded me also of like some sort of half Kagaja, full Kagaja from Tokyo Ghoul, but it also reminded me of like Predator, an alien mixed with like a horse. Where this story goes from here, I'm not entirely sure. Denji has gained this power that is extremely ridiculous and is going to be very difficult to handle in terms of other people going up against Makima. He is the ultimate weapon for her. The only thing that I can kind of see within the future is the person that is going to kill Makima is Denji himself, considering he may be the only person powerful enough to do so. And don't get me wrong, there is an endless amount of powerful beings within Chainsaw Man that we do and do not know about. That in itself is completely up in the air. But for the most part, one of the more impactful things that I feel would happen and would benefit Denji, and probably more so conclude the entirety of the story, is if he breaks free of Makima's chains, if he kills her himself. I'm not entirely sure where that would specifically happen or if it even would, but I feel like it'd be a very empowering moment for him, especially with everything that has happened over the past 80 chapters. And what we just witnessed, he's getting extremely powerful. I really enjoyed this chapter. A lot of good artwork, a lot of high tension moments, and a lot of conflict between some very interesting faces. Kishibe having a task force to take out Makima is going to be a very big driving force for the rest of the story, I assume. Unless for some reason he gets completely obliterated in the following chapters, or this all comes to a conclusion in a very weird way where everyone just dies that's opposing Makima, which honestly wouldn't surprise me at this point. Chainsaw Man is a very difficult story to see into the future for. It could literally go in any direction, but I am extremely excited to see what it ends up doing. How it handles Kishibe, how it handles Makima and Denji from here on out. This chapter was insane. Seeing how far everything is going, especially backed off the previous stuff, we have a lot of good stuff coming for Chainsaw Man, and I couldn't be more excited for it. So with that being said, if you have read the newest chapter of Chainsaw Man, let me know how you feel. How do you feel about Makima? How do you feel about Kishibe in this whole Hell Devil situation? And especially Denji. I'd really love to hear your thoughts. But I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Drink plenty of water, and I will see you in the next one.